So what happened with Soda? Soda just like rage quit because he couldn't figure out the map? Is that what it was?
Read, bro. I have read.
This is so funny.
Spring. I should return to an official. Where the fuck is an official? I don't fucking know. Deliver cargo to the storage clerk at any crossroads or higher level node. I don't know what the fuck a node is. I have no fucking idea.
For this? Dude, you know how much a gym membership costs? Do you see how much cardio I just got?
Thank the gods you've arrived safe.
Dude, I love Esfand. That's funny as fuck.
I mean, obviously the game has like, if I had to guess right now, I mean, we're probably looking at another...
Nice, he's just gliding around.
I mean, this game might be 2-3 years, who knows, right? Like, this game's got a ways out.
Plus, I'm hungry. I need to eat.
I just have no idea, right? Like, I've only played for a few hours, but it definitely needs more time.
I don't think anybody
I'll talk about it a little
disagrees with that.
Okay, so just gonna give you guys some thoughts, kind of a little bit of a recap. Laughable 6+ years in development. I just don't think you guys understand, like the people that are like saying stuff like that, I don't think you guys understand how game dev works like at all. Especially not for like an MMO. MMOs take a very, very, very long time to develop. Like it takes
True.
a very, very
and
long
base.
time. This
Hold on,
isn't like
let me move my
Madden,
thing.
You know, where like it comes out every week. That's just not how it works. Throwing it already took 12 years. Yeah, like it's been different for like 8 years. Yeah, that's not 12. That's not 15. Like MMOs take a long time to develop. Like a major studio takes 6 to 8. Yeah, I mean this is their first game. They're building out a new engine. Like this is a long project. Riot MMO will likely also be what, 20. Like
wait, it is the 29th.
Maybe 2030. Nobody knows, right? Because it takes forever. And Riot was going one direction with the MMO, and
I agree.
decided to like reset.
It does need more time.
And then that's one of our ghost.
But it is also amazing how fast they respond.
Well, we're gonna make our own MMO. We're gonna do that.
Like,
oh my gosh, this is so cool.
It's almost like they're actively working on it.
It's raining. Look at this. It's raining. And when you hit the light, just right, rainbow. That's pretty cool.
I'm glad he has that much excitement over like little things like that. That's awesome.
Rainbow. Anyway, I would say so far having I mean I haven't really like touched Ashes since the Alpha 1 test. I played it for like 1 day, and I remember how I felt leaving the Ashes test. I was like, that was okay. Wait and see. It's Alpha 1, right? And I haven't done any of the NDA stuff. I wasn't really playing then. Any of that, right? What I was doing, dude, look at the light. Dude, actually, dude, the lighting is insane. Like the ray trace lighting and stuff is actually crazy.
He's got a really good computer too.
The light shafts. Anyway, I've been so busy. I've been doing my own stuff. I was like, I'll play it again whenever it goes off of NDA. I don't remember the.
I agree with you, Lulu. It will take
for sure. I definitely
a long time for us to like.
I don't remember feeling
get to where we want to be,
good
but
at the end of the session.
Being able to see this weekend, the weekend after that, phase 2, that will tell us exactly how quickly they're developing.
Obviously, the game is nowhere close to ready, right? Like graphics, you know.
I actually think I was going back and rewatching like Pirate Software stuff, and Pirate Software was like, he cares about the velocity, so he doesn't care about the state that it's in now, but like where it is in the next coming weeks and the next coming months on like how fast things are developing, and that's where he's going to base his opinion on. So I think that's a very sound and valid take, and I'll agree with him on that, and just kind of like wait. Yeah, velocity matters. Yeah,
it needs a little bit of work, but it's not so much about the graphics. Like,
I mean, Thor is a game dev, so yeah, it makes sense.
The way they do the light shafts and the ray tracing, beautiful. Even these even just
I love the horse just moving sideways. If his horse was actually moving, he would like enjoy the actual animations of the horse too.
The way they have some stuff set up, it looks really good. Now, my issue with it is it's about the art style. Like I think there's nothing that really like you look at this and you're like, that's Ashes. That's Ashes of Creation. And you don't really have that.
The same general take that everyone's taking?
Final Fantasy 14. It's just it's missing something, but I don't know.
I don't think it's missing anything. I think it's generic fantasy. I did watch Narc's recent video, and I actually agreed with Narc. The Aelin runes don't feel eroded. They don't feel like they have the the binding of essence that is being fucked with, except for like the floating mountains and the floating islands behind Lionhold. Like that feels like part of the world. The gem spring where the actual natural development and stuff like that, where it's all warped and stuff, that makes sense for the world. And we don't see a ton of that yet. I imagine we'll see more of it as things happen, but that was actually a pretty base take from Narc and kind of like based on like what these guys are saying. But I don't think it's like it needs to scream that's Ashes. I think it needs to scream that's generic fantasy. I really want to try a blind test with tons of games that that look similarly similar. I quit at saying the word. And make people look at screenshots and then try and guess which similarly looking game this shot is from. Yeah, that's true. Like I don't know of any game that has like generic fantasy UE5 models that still looks like Ashes. Like I think it still looks pretty close to Ashes if you like look at how they're developing these things. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't think many people would actually be able to properly guess either, even if they are just using UE5 like artwork and stuff like that.
What? That's kind of what my issue is with it. Having something that kind of makes it more of a distinct.
Yeah, but I'm a jackass. And all I can do is focus on the horse for some reason. It doesn't move. Why is that? It's a horse.
Yeah. It's before, man. But yeah,
it's a little bit of a bug. I wish his horse was actually doing the animations, because the horse's animations are actually fucking goated.
Graphics need work. I think the UI is pretty rough.
UI is completely placeholder.
Alpha. So these are things that it's like, yeah, obviously these things are.
We've been complaining about the UI for forever. We know that the UI is kind of fucked.
It's hard to keep track of a lot of the UI elements, like where's my party? Where do I go to turn in a quest? How do I follow along with stuff? The map in general needs a lot of work, I think. I kind of feel a little bit aimless at times, not so much because of, I don't know, it's not like, it's a difference between not knowing what to do and like not feeling like I can't find out what to do. That happened a couple times, just like trying to decipher the map. Like, supposedly, what happened with Soda? Soda just like rage quit because he couldn't figure out the map? Is that what it was? Which
he couldn't find the fucking.
I didn't do that, but I totally believe that it happened because I was like,
read, bro. I have read.
This is so funny.
Spring. I should return to an official. Where the fuck is an official? I don't fucking know. Deliver cargo to the storage clerk at any crossroads or higher level node. I don't know what the fuck a node is. I have no fucking idea. I don't know any of these icons on the menu.
You know what? I think this is actually really fucking important. Like, as funny as it fucking is, like, I think it's really, really important feedback because, like, it shows the devs when you're, when you're completely new to the game, completely, absolutely don't know anything about the game, have done zero research into it, that you just kind of, like, you don't know what the fuck a node is. Like, you don't know what the fuck an official looks like. You can't walk around and be like, where the fuck are these guys? I won't lie, the very first time that I was doing this quest on the NDA test, I was like, they didn't have the gold books above them, I'll tell you that much. And I was like, where the fuck is an official? Like, what the fuck is an official too? I had the same exact reaction as Sodapoppin did, a little bit less hyperbolic, but like, I would be running around for like 45 minutes. I'm like, bro, I cannot find this official anywhere. And so like it took me a little bit. I didn't read the quest because like I was trying to save it for stream, and then I was like, well, I gotta at least fucking know where to go to get this Sweat of the Brow quest started. And so like I had to like read the quest, go to the Ember Spring, figure out where that Ember Spring was and stuff like that, talk to that guy. And then I started doing like the tradesman, and then he was like, go see like wherever. And like I was lost. Like I went out into the world. Well, I guess back in NDA, you didn't have like those little isolated nodes that were like right next to the quest givers. They like I went out into the world and tried to find fucking granite for like 7 hours, and there was no fucking granite. So that was a thing that they, you know, redid and came back to and stuff. But it was pretty funny because when they changed it so that it would be around the node, I went out into the world looking for fucking trees and fucking granite again. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be doing this? Like, oh, it's a different type of granite? Oh, it's a different type of tree? Oh, it says it right there on the map with a fucking yellow circle? Oh, okay, maybe I should go in that direction. Like, all these things happened where I was completely lost. And it was kind of funny because I wouldn't have known to do that quest unless a dev was like, bro, this quest is really important. I think this is actually a really important critique and a really important feedback for the devs to be like, yeah, not all of our players know what the fuck is happening, and they need to be directed for at least the tutorial and new user experience. I think that's really fucking important.
Map are. I thought these books were quests. They're not. Then I thought these silver boxes were quests. They're not.
They are.
What the fuck they are? There's no. I don't know what the fuck to do. I look at the map. I look for little highlighted yellow circles. I found one. I did.
That little silver dot right there is where the. It's where the official is.
Did it. Now they're gone. Now what? I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Dude needs to get laid. He has a girlfriend.
Or if the game's just fucking desyncing. I got no clue. It's too late in the day. I'm done streaming for the day. That's it. I will be on tomorrow for Saturday. Someone else will play it and figure everything out. It's early access. Not even early access.
I love Sodapoppin, man.
I'm like, I can't figure out where the quests are. I can't figure out. I see it, but like, I just can't. It's just a mess, right? You didn't know where the quest. Well, I mean, the quest. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the quests are right there, but at the same time, you read the quest and it's like, it's just kind of a mess, right? Rachel, I mean, he probably was just like hamming it up because it's, you know, he's just streaming. I really liked the drum bug. That's what set this game over the edge for me. That's what made this game fun.
The drum bug. I like that.
Official.
What the hell?
So
they have there's a guard in the Lionhold front gate where he's like killing goblins, and it does the same bug, and it's just a big gigantic fucking sword like that, and not just a drumstick. It's fucking amazing.
The bug was phenomenal. Very good. Very good.
As a bard, I'm pissed I missed that.
For people to understand with this, it's
drum,
like,
I'm pretty sure it's still in.
I don't know if this game's.
I'm pretty sure if you pick drum as your instrument, you'll still find it.
Track record of MMOs over the course of the last like 20 years. If you go by the numbers, this game's probably not going to be good, right? As you could say about almost every MMO, just looking at the numbers. But playing Alpha 2, the one thing that really stood out to me is...
Oh, you do run drum?
I had fun. And I started having fun whenever we went to go fight higher level stuff, and I felt like actually using my ability. I was actually using my abilities, and I was coming up with combos, and I was like, oh, I could do this and then this, right? I could twist my drums and get this big massive thing, right? It's funny. But that's whenever it really, that's really whenever it felt like I started to enjoy it. Whereas the first couple hours, I felt a little bit aimless, like, okay, where do I go? What do I do? It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I think there is, I think you're absolutely right. I think there is a fine line between having your hand held through an MMO and you get put on a track versus, hey.
Saw someone do it in a raid Saturday and said, what the fuck out loud? Yeah.
Instead of being on like rails the whole time, just you're out in the field, you know? You're out in the field and you're like, hey, what do I do? But at least you have like some kind of an area, like it's in this area.
Right.
And if that was kind of like the that was kind of like the issue, you know. To be honest, game looks so.
But so I think a lot of MMO gamers are aimless because they don't understand what an open world is. Like they're so used to just being told where the fuck to go that they just don't know where to go. And it's like the world is your dungeon to explore, man. Like go find stuff, go figure out that place that you went to, you probably shouldn't go there at your level because there's a big ass fucking Tumok right there. You know, he's holding a big ass tree and you're like, oh shit, better run away from that guy. Like the world is so massive and so big that the identity of the game is to get lost, is to travel somewhere, to explore, to be an adventurer in a new world. Like that's the aim of the game. And people that have experienced handholding for most of their life don't understand that. They're lost and they're confused and they get angry about it. And it's like, why are you getting angry? This is awesome. Like, I don't understand the mentality. Like, I love this feeling. I love going out and exploring and literally Like, that's what all Tibia was. Like, I would be afraid to enter certain holes because I figured, like, what if there's a fucking dragon down there? And sometimes there was a dragon down there. Sometimes there was a giant spider that would, like, absolutely kill you, and you'd lose your stuff. You would lose your XP. Like, it was dangerous, and it felt thrilling. I love that shit, dude. I absolutely love that shit. Had to AFK for a while, and I thought a way to streamline the starter quest. What if an NPC could give you a pointer if you were lost? So to say the initial quest, to find an official, maybe he says he's by this building, but then if you talk to another NPC, there'd be an option of like point me to an official. Yeah, I think that's possible. One thing I was thinking of like is as you run by the official, you'd be like, "Hey, adventurer, I need like calling all new adventures," or something like that, or like the tradesman going like willing to give a horse to a willing adventurer, or something like that. Like doing things that will allow the person to like grab their attention. That like, oh, I need this to get my horse, or like if you need to craft, like here's some tools, stuff like that. Like the hey goblin slayer dude, yeah, like stuff like that like pulls the player's attention, that doesn't overly communicate like this is where you get this, but you definitely need like something that says like this guy's really fucking important, right? Like I think the book icons are good. They just need to make sure that they actually work that way as well. Free horse here, get your free horse, yeah, something like that.
So bad, it's insane. I
said I wasn't going to post this on YouTube, but we've actually had a lot of good discusussions. I might actually post this one to YouTube. I'm not gonna lie.
People say that. Like I can't figure it out.
Start again. Smile.
I mean, it's the way. What games do you guys play? It has to be Trolls. Looks like an MMO from 2008. No, it really doesn't. Like, I heard somebody else say it.
I'm so glad he has like just a general like objective point of view of the game and an understanding of like where it's at. Like this made me like, I don't watch any of Esfand stuff, but this made me really respect him.
I mean, here's the thing, by the way, this is what you're gonna get. At the end of the day, and I'm just being completely honest, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about games, especially like MMOs. I'm particularly passionate about MMOs. I'm particularly passionate about RPGs, right? So I'm gonna tell you how I feel. And a lot of times,
listen, I don't know why it's bad either, but it's just so ass, you know? I can't say why. I really can't. It just is. I have no background in game development, by the way.
Right, exactly.
What the fuck is that voiceover?
You can critique something while doing it like in a nice way. I don't have to be like, oh, this is so ugly, this is so dog shit, this sucks. You know, like, I'll be honest with you. That's not even being honest, man. Like if I were to do that to farm pleb points and to appease a bunch of like,
it does sound like Cleveland from Family Guy.
That's shitty. That's fake. That's fake as hell, right? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you guys like how I feel about it, right? But it's always going to be more popular to shit on something and to make something out to be as bad as possible than it is to be looking at something even keel and making an honest analysis. Why? Because it's simply more entertaining. And that's the truth, right? People want they want to hear the polarizing take. They want to hear this sucks, this is bad. Oh, this is amazing. They don't want to.
I'm not gonna lie, that Sodapoppin clip is fucking entertaining as hell.
And I'm just gonna be honest about it. Why? Because it just feels
it's shitting on ashes, but man, that was entertaining as fuck to watch.
And also, that's who I am, right? But like whenever I look around, there's really not a whole lot of people.
Esfand, he's a really popular
the level of
WoW
hype
paladin.
that this game has gotten, it makes sense why people think this.
It was painful. I thought it was hilarious.
It doesn't look that bad. It just doesn't seem revolutionary compared to all the unique gameplay mechanics they have in the game.
Oh, no, I 100% agree with that.
Hardo.
Yeah, no, I mean I completely agree with that. But it's alpha, right? No, I mean I think most people would completely agree with that. But it's alpha, right? So it's like. Baldur's Gate sold early access from alpha well into development, became game of the year. You need to calm down. Yeah. And again, just by the numbers, this game probably, by the numbers, looking at MMOs that like pop off, it's probably not going to be super good, right? I mean, that's just just looking at the statistics. But I know this much is that I had fun playing it today, right? And I hope it is good, because the more good MMOs there are out there, the more the genre gets bolstered and stays alive longer. Because I mean, I love MMOs. I grew up playing MMOs. That was the main game that I played.
I don't know why it's bad either. I think it's because there's no fucking locker room. See, I fucking love locker room.
Yeah, locker room seafood. True.
I enjoyed it. I like watching it more than WoW.
I love those things. How do I get that?
A little blurry.
Yeah, I mean, it needs a little work, right?
Poppin's video reminded me of a petulant child. His reasoning wasn't off, his delivery was childish. I love his voiceovers. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I could see that. But, like, that's his whole persona, right? Like, he fucking mauls over his OnlyFans guild. He, like, yells at his, like, guild members and stuff like that. It's like, almost his bit to just yell like that. And it's fucking hilarious to me. I don't know why, but, like, that's just what he does. And it is so funny. Like, I love watching Sodapoppin's, like, OnlyFans stuff. And you know, like, to be fair, like, maybe that's something that, like, is a reason for him. I don't think this is actually true, but, like, he does have incentive to not like Ashes of Creation because of OnlyFans, because of all that stuff. But, like, I don't think it's that much of an incentive to not like Ashes of Creation, because, like, he's gonna be fine regardless. I don't think he needs to shit on it to do his thing. I think that was, like, an actual real emotion that he had based on the circumstances that he was given. I didn't see his Saturday VOD stuff, so, like, I don't know if he had a better reaction afterwards. But man, I thought it was entertaining as shit.
I think the big thing is the direction of the art style. I would like to see something that, like, I look at it and I'm like, that's Ashes. Yeah, that's Ashes. That's what I need to see. How would you suggest them to get a better style going? Well, and that's the thing. That's unfortunately, I don't really have a suggestion there. I wish I did, but I haven't. I don't have.
Nobody does.
But
you ask anybody this question, like, okay, so what's the style that Ashes needs? And nobody has a fucking answer. Like, that's, like, I don't know, make it better. Because, like, I mean, like, Riot, WoW, Final Fantasy, they all have, like, their own style, right? But, like, I don't look at PAX Day and think Ashes. I don't look at Ashes and think PAX Day. Like, they both run on UE5. They both use, like, UE5 assets. But I still view the two games completely differently. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, like, why people have this feeling. Like, I think, in general, the generic fantasy look of it makes me think Ashes.
I just think the game needs something to make it.
Yeah, I agree with you, literally. I have seen the Narcs video, and that's what I was talking about earlier.
Like a more realistic, gritty style of game.
The essence. The blue light being the essence.
Because that's what a lot of people do, especially, like, Unreal Engine. It, like,
yeah,
it kind of looks like, hey, this is Unreal Engine 5 MMO. You know, I completely agree with the art style. I wish it popped more, had more character. Yeah, I know exactly. What's up, Silvervale? That's what it needs. I think it's the character models don't stand out as much either. Yeah, but they look. Here's the thing, very high.
Also, the other thing with the world being too clean as an argument is the fact that, like, if you add too much, then it also messes with optimization. If you keep adding, like, vines and shit like that, like, it's gonna fuck your optimization. It's gonna fuck your rendering. I think the idea of, like, having things eroded was a good idea. I think having, like, missing tiles and stuff like that, where it actually takes away when you subtract, I think that's good. I think subtracting is really good. But adding more causes other issues.
Fidelity. Like, we looked at them up close, like, they look good, right? But they don't look unique, and I think that's what matters a lot. A lot of us are tired of it's just alpha as an excuse. How many MMOs have said it's just alpha, it'll get better, and it never does? The devs overhyped the shit out of the game, and now we see the first look of actual gameplay, and it's nothing like advertised.
It's everything like advertised. What do you mean?
How's it nothing like advertised, though? Like, I get what you're saying, but, like, they specifically said this is like a server like
stability test,
stability thing. Like it's exactly what they advertised.
Visual identity is paramount. Valheim not great graphics, but one screenshot you know what it is. The tone and vibe is also communicated.
Most MMO alphas are already completed games being ported from Korea. True. Did you get any DC during the whole playtime? I didn't, but some of the other guys we were playing with did. That one. So I think overall it's pretty good. So I think the game will do well, but it's not going to feed the MMO community. Well, yeah, I mean, the truth is a lot of the MMO community they're not going to get fed ever. Because they want
expect too much.
They're chasing something that doesn't exist.
If your unique graphics, style, and the world design is good, that's all that matter. Like Grizzly Hills in Roth is a good example of a zone that will always look good.
Yeah, true. Now I hope that's not the case, but I think it probably is. Right? There's probably a portion of the MMO community that will never have that like what they're looking for because they're.
Well, it's so weird too. It's like people talk about like the MMO community as if it's one whole community, but really there's multiple different communities within the MMO community. And the thing is like this game is not going to be what everyone wants. And I've said this to like I made a whole ass video like Ashes of Creation is not going to be for you for some people. Like they've been saying that in development consistently for years. Like nobody is going to be super happy. Like not everybody is going to like Ashes of Creation. And that's just how it is. Like people just have to accept that. Like this is for the people that like Archeage, that like Lineage, that like Guild Wars, that like Tibia, that like these old ass games. Maybe some of them like RuneScape. Like it's for these MMO players that like these types of games.
Merry Christmas.
They can't get past their own like negativity about something. Now, don't get me wrong, right? A lot of you guys have watched me for years.
Yeah, Eve enjoyers.
I will be as critical as it gets
like,
about something.
There's so many League of Legends players that are waiting for a good MMO and are not playing like WoW or Final Fantasy because these games are not for them. There's like other players that are playing other games like FPSs and shit like that because those other MMOs are not for them. Like ESO is not for them. WoW is not for them. Final Fantasy is not for them. Like there's a lot of these things that like people just don't like playing them because, you know, they don't like playing those games. So they played other games. They found other games.
But I'm also not an idiot. And I'm even though like I role play and I put on the show, I don't do performative bullshit, right? Like I don't do that well. I can't act like something is something that it's not. It feels too inauthentic to me and it makes me uncomfortable, right? I think that the game has
playing
potential.
fucking Minecraft.
I don't know if
exactly.
if it's gonna be the guy. Like you don't know. And this is something I am very, very like I believe in a lot. Something I believe in a lot is when you're critiquing something, when you're giving feedback on something, you want to attack.
Send help for what?
That are you want to attack the most amount of legitimate points as possible, because every time you give feedback on something, every time you complain about something, every time you critique something, these are cooldowns. You're burning cooldowns. Because people only can listen to a certain amount. They can only listen to so much before they tune you out. So like, if you're trying to critique something and say, hey, this is bad, you need to be like precise on what you're giving feedback on and why. Because if something is like, oh, this sucks, oh, this is bad, and then you don't really expand on it, it's just you're muddying the water, you're clouding things up, right? It turns into a mess, and then the good feedback falls by the wayside. But yeah, that's how I feel about Ashes so far. I think that there's potential there. I think that it still needs a lot of work, and I actually did have fun. I really had fun jumping around and using my abilities and playing the bard. That was cool. I hope you guys enjoyed Ashes of Creation. Like I said, I had a lot of fun playing it the first day. I think the game needs a lot of work. I think the game needs a whole lot of work before it's ready to go. But it's just Alpha 2. In this phase of alpha testing, they're gonna crank it up every weekend and do different things.
I've seen it as bard bug.
Part of the phase, they're not really.
I could probably look it up.
The content too much, more so than like server stability. So,
dude, this video made me really like Esfand. I'm not gonna lie. He's like what I think of Ashes of Creation so far. I really enjoyed this whole conversation. It actually led to a lot of good conversations. I might actually fucking put this on YouTube. This was actually really fucking So, yeah. Hell yeah, Esfand. Spreading the word, spreading the good deed.